Clarkston. I'm Rod Rock, Superintendent of Schools. Welcome to Real Learning, where we showcase the learning, thinking, teaching, and people who make Clarkston's community schools so great. Today I'm here with two Clarkston students, one who is actually an alumni, Lawrence Zaner and Jillian Ritchie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here. So, Lawrence, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, I went to Clarkston High School for 4 years and graduated early in last December. Now I'm a freshman at Oakland University, and we just finished our exams now, so I'm planning to transfer to Michigan State in the fall. And for the past 2 years almost now, I've worked at Clarkston Community Schools in the People Accounting and Student Information Department.
And you've made a lot of things happen for us behind the scenes there, so we appreciated your expertise.
Thank you.
Jillian, can you tell us about yourself?
I am still a senior at Clarkston High School. I've gone here for 3 years and then the junior high and middle school before that. And in the fall, I'll be going to the University of Chicago, hopefully studying mathematics and computer science.
Very good, thank you. So Jillian, can you tell us about your most meaningful educational experience so far?
I think it was when I was taking a web design class with Mr. Conwell in 10th grade. I took it because I needed another elective to fill my spot. I didn't think I would be that interested, but it turns out that I really loved it, and so that got me started. Like, I took Intro to Programming the next year, and that really got me interested in computers and computer science.
Very good, thank you. How about you, Lawrence?
For me, I'd have to say my job has really taught me a lot about maturity and responsibility, and those two attributes have really been able to transpose over to other forms of education for me. So in college, especially when you get the reins taken off you and you're really on your own, I've been able to really take a good, responsible, forward action in my learning, and that's helped a lot.
To make that transition.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So both of you have achieved presidential scholars, as you were nominated, you were telling me, through Career and Technical Education.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence, will you tell us some more about that and about your other academic and scholastic achievements?
Well, the Presidential Scholar Award is awarded to 4,700 high school graduating seniors, and there's about 3.3 million graduating seniors in the United States, so that's about 0.15% of kids get this award. So
wow,
it's a pretty big award, and for us it was for career technical education, so computer science and things that relate to that. Other achievements I've earned are in Business Professionals of America. I was a state finalist one time, and then I was a state qualifier one more time.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
I know, Jillian, you have some of those same experiences and some others.
Yeah, like Lawrence, I also compete in Business Professionals of America. I qualified for states both this year and last year, and then the last 2 years I've won first place in the state in Visual Basic Programming.
In Visual Basic Programming. So you talked a little bit about your computer programming experiences. Is that where your passion is, Jillian?
Yeah, I think I'm interested in a wide variety of things, but I think that was something new that I discovered just a few years ago, and I really enjoy it, and I really like doing that, and so that I would definitely call one of my passions. Yeah.
Okay, and that's something you said you're going to study mathematics at the University of Chicago. Will computer programming be part of that as well?
Yeah, I'm hoping to study applied mathematics and work with computer languages and programming in that too, so that I can apply it to a real world situation as opposed to just pure formulas and pure math.
Okay, as I know that's a huge field right now, computer programming, and people talk about that as another foreign language, and there are so many jobs available, and it's really a hot place. How about you, Lawrence? What's your passion?
Well, for me, ever since I was a young kid, I loved to know how things worked. And so finally, when I got my hands on my first computer, I was just intrigued, because there's so much to learn about how a computer works that it's just endless information that I could find out. So for me, it was really computer science and hardware, just trying to figure out exactly what made something work.
Okay, so you tinkered with things throughout your life, and computers sort of hit home with you as...
Right when I was about 10 years old, I got my first laptop.
Did you?
Ever since then, I was just doing whatever 10-year-olds would do, go on Facebook. And then eventually I got into the field of computer programming, and that's when it really took off, when I figured out this size of what you can do with a computer. It was just fascinating to me.
Before, a few weeks ago, we reached out to teachers. We sent a class list of all the seniors, and we asked teachers to make comments about their former students. And one of the things that one of your former teachers said, Lawrence, was that you had a laptop before she did. Something she remembers.
Yeah.
Also, you're bringing butterflies to class with your mom when you were in kindergarten. And they said they'd vote for you for president also, whenever you're ready to. And they were saying similar things about you, Jillian, about what how you think outside the box and what a hard-working person you are. And so I know your teachers really have a lot of respect for you and have appreciated being able to get to know you. So, so how do you hope, Jillian, to positively contribute to the world in the future?
One thing that I've really been noticing lately is how technology is like changing people's lives, and especially it's noticeable in schools with like cell phones and laptops and things like that. And I think that with like developing new technologies and all the things that we have to come, there's the window to make a really big change in how people like interact with their technology. And I think one of the things I don't like about how that is going is how it's focusing on getting people more involved in like their smartphones and the internet as opposed to enhancing relationships we have with other people. So that's something that I am really passionate about and interested in, is how we can use technology to enhance our relationships with other people face to face and enhance our global connections as opposed to just within like introspective.
Right. That's really interesting, because I've heard quite a bit about that and read about how technology is causing us to be less empathetic toward one another and so focused on our screens, and there are ways that we can so quickly say rude or demeaning things to other people and not have to think about it. And so it's, or even at the dining room table, how conversations have, people aren't families aren't talking to each other so much anymore. So it's wonderful that you're trying to think about how to improve humanity and relationships through technology. The ethical piece seems so important with technology. How about you, Lawrence?
Well, for me, it's not exactly related to technology as much, but I look at people like Bill Gates who are really into philanthropy. And one thing I see them doing all the time is funding cancer research. And cancer has really hit home with me a few times. So I would really like to be able to see one day the disease just become obsolete. And whatever I can do that can, go and try to make that happen, I would, whatever I can do.
That's wonderful. So both of you are thinking about technology and the sciences and how to make life better for people. Thank you very much. It's so wonderful that you're living in this age right now where there's hopeful science that can make lives better for people, and I'm so glad that people like you are here. So you've already talked to us about your plans for college. Is there anything you wanted to add to that?
I mean, I've just always been excited to get to college. I mean, to me, high school was always a good stepping stone, but it felt like college is where you can really focus in on what you're going to learn and what you're going to use for the rest of your life.
Narrow it down.
Exactly.
Okay. Anything else, Jillian?
Yeah, I agree with that, and have the opportunity to say that I want to take classes in this specific subject area, and so I can focus all my efforts on that, and you can really explore more and figure out what you want to do, and there's opportunities to network with professionals and look into future careers and see how what I'm doing now in the classroom is really applicable to my future directly.
And building those relationships with professors and their areas of research.
Exactly.
And being in Chicago and then in East Lansing, and such big schools and prestigious schools that open up so much for both of you. It's really terrific. So how about your dreams? Jillian, is there anything? I know we've talked about some different things. What are you thinking about for your dreams for the future?
Well, my dreams and my, I guess, goals after college are pretty similar, but I want to work on building a successful career that I can look back and say, wow, I did something. And so that I would call one of my big dreams. But another dream is I think I really want to travel and just see different parts of the world and be exposed to different cultures, because I also think that would help me to fulfill my other goals about being able to make an impact, because I can understand how other people are functioning and thinking, and how maybe the community I've grown up in is different than so many other ones. And so that's something that I really want to do, is I want to travel and just experience different cultures and parts of the world.
I'm sure the University of Chicago will give you some of those opportunities as well,
Yeah.
study abroad, and that's wonderful. How about you, Lawrence?
Well, I've kind of set this goal for myself to do better than my dad has. And my dad was an automotive executive for GM for 43 years. So he set a pretty high bar for me to meet, but I feel like if I can prove him wrong and do better than he did, then I'd be pretty happy with myself. He always tells me now in today's age that with the amount of people going to get higher education, that it's harder to become successful. So I would really like to prove him wrong on that.
He set that challenge for you, huh?
Exactly.
So, Lawrence, of all your experiences so far, what do you think has best prepared you for your next steps?
Well, I've had quite a few life experiences in my life that have been both good and bad. And I would have to say one of them in particular that really set me up was my mom going, passing away. And going through that was a real eye-opener as to how the real world is going to be like. And I had to learn how to take care of myself, and I hate to say it, but without that, I would not be the same person I am today. And that taught me a lot more about responsibility and maturity than I could have ever asked for.
So sorry you had to go through that.
Thank you.
I know how much we admire and respect you for the person you are, so it's really something. And when I think about kids and such young people like yourselves, not only the things you've accomplished, but the things that you've overcome, the challenges, it blows my mind sometimes. So how about you, Jillian? What's prepared you for your next steps?
I think just being able to go and see other students around me who maybe aren't taking advantage of the opportunities, and then pursuing opportunities that I want, like being in Business Professionals of America, or I'm in Future Problem Solving, and the program almost, when it stopped being funded as an in-school activity, we had to work to make it a club. And so just being able to know that I can take responsibility for things like that and pursue my own goals.
Oh, that's wonderful. So the Future Problem Solvers, did you guys win a state championship this year as well?
We did. Our team, we've won the state championship 4 times and gone to the international competition 4 times, and we'll be going this year again. And that's been a really amazing experience, because it also gets you thinking about the future, and it gives you topics like, this could happen 20 years in the future, what are we going to do about it? And it gets you thinking, and that we find problems and then we come up with solutions, and that logical and analytical thinking has really, I found that translates into my education and how I approach big problems, and so I think that's really going to benefit me in the future.
So you've really embraced opportunities to expand yourself and challenge yourself, so that international perspective, and you get to meet a lot of different people and see how things work, and then you're going to carry that on to college. So it's really, really interesting. So Jillian, what's your fondest memory of growing up in Clarkston?
I think my favorite thing was when I was younger, and we still do this in the summer now, but we would ride our bikes downtown and get ice cream at the Union, and then go play in Depot Park. And I think I just really liked having like a little town, the town nearby, where it felt so small when I know that we were in like a really big community, and just having like such a nice place to go to and spend a day and just be a kid was really good.
That's really unique to Clarkston, isn't it? Thank you very much. How about you, Lawrence?
For me, I would say I grew up in Clarkston without any family around. I mean, my closest family member was 4 hours away in Ludington, Michigan. So all my friends have really become close enough to me as a sibling, especially since I am an only child also. So as of now, that is definitely my fondest memory, is creating these friendships that I hope will never be broken, and I don't think they will be. And I can see down the road that will also be my fondest memory of Clarkston, is all the people I've met and the people I'll stay in touch with.
Thank you. That's really great. So, Lawrence, if there's one thing you could change about education, what would it be and why?
Well, to me, I felt like when I was in high school that the whole learning process was very generalized and that everyone learned kind of the same way. But I feel like individuals learn in many different ways and that it could be much more specialized to get everybody who can learn in the best way they can so that their learning is much more efficient. And really, that would be the one thing I would change.
Much more personalized.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Jillian?
One thing that I think is that because there's such pressure to get all the average of the students up to a specific standard, a lot of teachers have to, I guess, dumb down their lessons because they're focusing so much on forcing the students who maybe don't want education to participate. And I think that education really needs to be a personal decision. Like, you need to decide, I want to do this for my future, and in order for you to genuinely learn, you need to take it into your own hands. So I wish there was an opportunity for students to have more independence with that decision, and students to see that if you don't take action and I don't do this, that it's your choice, but it's gonna impact you later, and be able to make decisions about where you want your life to go instead of where your life should go based on the path that everyone has set for you.
So some more personal responsibility,
Yeah.
long-term effects of that. Okay, thank you very much. Is there anything else you'd like to share that we haven't talked about?
To me, I've always really liked to learn things. And going through high school, everyone says, it's the best 4 years of your life or it's the worst 4 years of your life, but really it's 4 very important years of your life. And sometimes people undervalue that, and I really wish there was a way to show them how important those 4 years of high school are, because later on down the road you'll thank yourself for trying as hard as you did.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's great advice. How about you, Jillian? Anything else?
Similar to that, I think you have to take chances and maybe just go with the flow a bit, because when I first took my first computer science class, it was just because the first choices of electives I wanted weren't available. So I needed this class to fill in my schedule, and I fell in love with it, and it's really shaped my future. So I guess being open-minded and not setting your path too early and saying, this is the only thing I want to do. You need to explore different avenues and let doors be opened and doors be closed.
Okay. Well, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to be here today and for our community to get to know you a little bit better. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. And we have 8,000 kids in Clarkston. I don't think there's any better place to get educated. And I think students like Lawrence and Jillian, they teach us so much and they accomplish so much, and they're so young, and it just fills me with hope for the future, that they're so articulate and so intentional about who they want to be and where they're going to go and achieving their dreams. I just feel really, really blessed to know each one of them, and I'm glad the community has had a little bit of an opportunity to get to know them better. So thank you for tuning into the show. We'll see you soon.